Today I'm going to be talking about Feet of Clay by Terry Pratchett. Feet of Clay is part of Discworld. For all those who are not aware of Discworld, it is a series of books written by Terry Pratchett set in a fictional world with some fantastic characters. What's more, Discworld contains a set of parallel series that run across each other with different story arcs. Feet of Clay is part of the Citywatch story arc. Citywatch story arc centers around characters from the police force of the fictional city of Ankh-Morpork that has been created under Discworld, and it is such a fascinating read. In all honesty, Citywatch is the first story arc that I'm reading as part of Discworld. A very good friend of mine gone through all the Discworld books and he recommended that I start with Citywatch because that's a pretty good starting point. So the Citywatch story arc has about 8 odd books. It starts off with Guards followed by Men-at-Arms. Now these are two books that I had loved. So it was a no-brainer that I'm going to go on to Feet of Clay and the rest of the series as well. And this does not disappoint. This is funnier, quirkier. It creates some great characters through the length of this series. The characters that he set up in the first 2 books continue to grow and develop even further in Feet of Clay. You get to see another layer to Vimes and Carrot. There is also a new undercurrent brewing between Carrot and Angua, which is really interesting to read. In Feet of Clay, apart from the main characters, the support characters also get their time in the sun. So you have a lot of story time for characters like Nobby and Colon, and they were hilarious. Terry Pratchett is a genius. He creates a fascinating world populated by such interesting characters as well as different creatures. And the way he assimilates all of this together is the beauty of his writing. All of it just comes together so well. While he does all of this, he also manages to create and introduce new characters with every book. And this book is no different. Feet of Clay has some very, very unique new characters that I loved. My favorite characters from Feet of Clay, Dorfel the Golem is one such character, and the other one is Cheery Little Bottom. Yes, that's the name. Cheery Little Bottom. The introduction is hilarious. Every time this character comes in is such a ball. It is fantastic to read. And there is a surprise element to this character as well. I don't want to reveal too much. I would love for you guys to discover it yourself and read through it. So I'm going to leave it at that. My favorite character was a gnome, Wee Mad Arthur. Every time he comes on, it is just this mad fun. And he adds so much spunk to this narrative. I had a lot of fun reading all his interactions, especially with Colon. And if there's one common thread between all these characters that I spoke of, I think that would have to be a lot of chutzpah. Yes, loads of it. Pratchett's genius doesn't end here. Apart from the delightful characters and the hilarious narrative, what I love about his writing is his ability to add social commentary in a very nuanced, subtle way, even when things are full of buffoonery and chaos. He does all of this so effortlessly and beautifully that you don't even know it while you're reading it. But as you go through, you start to correlate it with the real world and you realize there is so much depth and so many subtle references here. Race has been a strong subject right through the series from Guards and Men-at-Arms, and Feet of Clay is no different, even though the references are slightly understated. What gets more focused this time around is how the world treats people who are differently abled or just away from the norm. There is also a bit on following your heart as well as commentary on gender roles and stereotypes. But as I said, there is subtlety right through, and at times it's a stretch to connect all of this. That's because the power and the strength of Pratchett's writing continues to be humor. I enjoyed book 1, loved book 2, but book 3 in the Citywatch arc, Feet of Clay, is possibly one of my all-time favorite books. And Sir Terry Pratchett deserves all the accolades out there in the world. Without a doubt, Feet of Clay is a benchmark in fantasy writing and one of my all-time favorite reads. That's my take on Feet of Clay by Terry Pratchett, book 3 in the Citywatch arc of Discworld series. If you have read it, let me know what you thought about it. If you haven't, I highly recommend Discworld by Terry Pratchett, and you can start with the Citywatch series like I did. Go ahead, check it out.